Welcome to another video of Japan Business Consulting. Today, I have the honor to have a lecture by Watanabe-san, who is JBC's honorary advisor, and we will talk about Genji Monogatari, or the Tale of Genji, which is a classic Japanese literary work written by Murasaki Shikibu in the early 11th century, around the Heian period court culture in Japan. It is widely regarded as one of the greatest works of Japanese literature, and many scholars describe it as the world's first novel or one of the earliest true novels. So please enjoy. Watanabe-san, thank you so much for being here and offering to give this lecture. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm the honorary advisor of Japan Business Consulting and the former Consul General of Japan in Barcelona. I'm very decided to cheer up the friendship and business between Japan and Miami and the United States from the holistic point of view as a diplomat of 40 years of experience and correspondent member of Nicaraguan Academy of Literature and honorary academic member of Royal European Academy of Doctors and advisor of Japan Association of United Nations Environment Program. Today, I want to introduce you Genji Monogatari, the Tale of Genji, the world's oldest and longest novel written by a Japanese imperial court lady, Murasaki Shikibu, in the year 1008, more than 1,000 years ago. If you know the Tale of Genji, Genji Monogatari, you will be very respected in Japan and Japanese business scene. So the title, Genji Monogatari and the Tale of Genji, is worth remembering. As you can see in the photo, next photo, it consists of 54 chapters, 1 million words, 2,400 pages where 500 persons appears and 800 poems, waka 57577 included. And it is the classic of classics and the greatest masterpiece in the history of Japanese literature. There are many books of translation into modern Japanese of the Tale of Genji, next photo, such as those books translated by famous novelists such as Junichiro Tanizaki, Akiko Yosano, Jakucho Setouchi, Mitsuo Kakuta. But those books seems to be almost their own novels. So I read the original version with the help of dialect translation. It cost almost 3 months to read all. And there are books of next English translation. It's Tale of Genji. It's a manga, manga of Tale of Genji. And next, it's an English translation by author Willie, English Orientalist. There are many translators, Loyal Taylors, Dennis Wishburne, and the next book is Tale of Genji. It's the first English book of Tale of Genji, written by Mr. Suematsu Kencho, Japanese diplomat, first secretary of the Japanese legation in England in 1882, and revised by Michael Emmerich. Next photo. He is Hikaru Genji. The story tells about the dramatic life of the protagonist. He is super handsome and very talented shining prince, Hikaru Genji, second son of the 10 sons of the Emperor Kiritsubo. Not the first son. This is the point. He is number 2 in line to the throne. It is the position of imperial succession struggle. Next photo. By the Korean fortune teller's prediction, that if he is throned, the country will be in chaos. And in order to avoid the dispute of succession, he was stripped of imperial status and descended to a vassal with the name Genji for the political stability. Moreover, his mother has passed away and the bloodline is lower and his financial base was weak. You know that the imperial family member don't have the family names such as Naruhito, actual emperor, and his daughter Aiko without family name. And Hikaru Genji pursues the romantic, emotional, forbidden love romance with many ladies freely in the imperial court and conquers the aristocratic world with love and strategy, achieving his revival and reaching the highest rank of hierarchy, such as Grand Minister of State and Senis as regent, marrying his daughters with emperor. The novel consists of three parts. Today, let's see the first part. The first part is the bright side of his success story. Successful love stories at the imperial court, promotion, and glory. And the second part is the shadow of his life of Genji with a price of conquest, karmic back, agony and suffering of love. He became monk seeking the Buddhist salvation, and he passed away at the age of 52. Third part is about the love story of his descendants, Prince Yugiri or Kaoru, Prince Nioinomiya or Kifune. And there is another part of anecdote of Princess Takamazura. Next photo. Next photo. This is a Genji Monogatari. Next. And next. This photo is the author, again, the author, the lady. Okay, this is the author of Tale of Genji, Murasaki Shikibu, as you can see in the photo. Her real name is thought to be Kaoruko Fujiwara, born in 973 and passed away in 1014 at the age of 41. His father is governor of Echizen, lower rank aristocrat who taught Chinese classics to her. She has been proficient in reading Chinese classics since she was a child, and it is unusual for a woman to study Chinese classic in that era. And she was married with Nobutaka Fujiwara and gave birth to her daughter, but Nobutaka, his husband, died 2 years later. In a state of grief, she began to write the Tale of Genji. Then her novel became very popular among aristocrats, including the emperor. So she was invited to the imperial court by powerful regent Michinaga Fujiwara to serve the Empress Shoshi, who is his daughter, as private teacher. Michinaga offered abundantly writing paper for Murasaki Shikibu. Writing paper were very expensive at that time, and Michinaga's sponsor offered abundant papers to continue writing the Tale of Genji in order to attend the emperor's attention for the Empress Shoshi, because there was another empress, Teishi, daughter of Michitaka Fujiwara, elder brother of Michinaga political rival, whose court lady private teacher was Seisho Nago, author of famous essay Murasaki Makura no Shoshi, rival of Murasaki Shikibu. And the emperor, real emperor Ichijo, praised her knowledge about Chinese literature and the chronicle of Japan. Murasaki Shikibu has insightful eyes to observe the profound psychology of love and the enormous skill of careful, detailed, realistic, and psychological depiction of people and nature. And she is the novelist and at the same time famous poet. Her poems are included in many anthologies of poems, such as 100 Poets, one poem each, 100人 each, and 33 female poets, and etc. Next photo. Frankly speaking, it is very difficult to read and understand fully the text of Tale of Genji. As you see in this text, the text is written with hiragana, with cursive form, and each sentence is elegant and eloquent, but very long, without any comma nor period nor parenthesis, and only the part of poem has the line break. And the next photo, the vocabulary of 1 million words, 2,400 pages are so rich, and the novel includes 800 poems, waka. Frequently, the subject of the sentence are omitted. So you need to determine who is speaking from the context. And it is so long history with 54 chapters, and there appears 500 persons with complicated names, which means location, address, and status, and the names change frequently when those persons are promoted in their ranks. And the Tale of Genji is written with beautiful Japanese language, so as the name of the Tale of Genji shows, it is enjoyable to tell and read aloud this tale. This is the first page of the Tale of Genji. The first line of the Tale of Genji begins like this. いずれの御時にか、女御行為、あまた侍玉いける中に、意図やんごとなき際にはあらぬが、優れてときめき玉うありけり。At the court of an emperor, there was among the many gentle women of the wardrobe and chamber one who, though she was not of very high rank, was favored far beyond all the rest. In this way, the story begins. And the next photo, the structure of the story is very complicated and multi-layered. There's so many protagonists there. And so if you don't know the hierarchical background and the aristocratic hierarchy of Heian period from 8th century to 12th century, you can't understand the context right away. And the moral standard of main character Hikaru Genji is different from the modern ethic of today from the point of sentiment and pathos. And the next photo, and at that time, Japan was the dynastic nation centered on the imperial family and the court aristocracy in the Senate, governed by the rigid bureaucratic system with the emperor on the Senate. And it was a hierarchical society, as you can see in the picture. And the high rank aristocrats, the population of them are merely 1,000 aristocrats, which occupy only 0.001% of the whole population of Japan of 10 million at that time, including the family members, almost 2,500 aristocrats, very few people. And among the aristocrats, the hierarchy and rank conscious were very important. And the rank of women in the court are determined according to the rank of their father's rank, such as Kisaki, Empress, Chugu, Empress or second consort of Emperor, Nyogo, court lady, Koi, lady court attendant, Miyasudokoro, emperor's consort, normally the lady court or court lady attendant who gave birth to the prince. Next photo. The first part of the story is the bright side of Hikaru Genji in this picture, and tells his thrilling love adventure with 13 women and his success story. He can satisfy all kinds of women with his figure as super handsome and elegant playboy with highly refined manner and culture. For example, the flirting poems Waka written with beautiful calligraphy on the writing paper of high quality, perfumed with incense with flowers and origami paper holdings. And he is so talented at Waka poem, music, calligraphy, and painting. And in the imperial court, the severe promotion race was developing among male aristocrats, and the struggle of women to marry with men who climbed the ladder of promotion and success at the imperial court. And in the aristocratic society generally dominated by male, women shine very vividly in this tale of Genji. For the court ladies of that era, the Tale of Genji stimulated their imagination and expanded their views about the society. Those court ladies couldn't leave the imperial palace so frequently. Next photo. Now, next photo, let's see. Hikaru Genji's 4 of 13 women of romance. First woman is Kiritsubo no Koi, mother of beginning of history. She is the mother of Hikaru Genji. Next photo. She is very beautiful, gorgeous, cute, and pliable. She's the lady court attendant, a concubine of the Emperor Kiritsubo, who belongs to the rank of Koi, lady court attendant, inferior to Empress or Chugu or Nyogo court lady, whose father are member of imperial family or more other ministers. Her deceased father was the chief counselor, middle rank aristocracy. She lacks of the backing supporter. So she suffered the bullying and tremendous harassment from jealous empress and court ladies, such as the shocking incident of strange trick and left on the bridge and the corridor of the palace where she passes. This is concretely the scattering of feces and urines in the corridor of the palace where she passes. Oh, she died with stress when Hikaru Genji was 3 years old. Hikaru Genji had a faint love and longing for her. Next photo. Second woman is the Lady Fujitsubo, who looks just like Kiritsubo no Koi, with her beauty and hairline, almost second Kiritsubo, second Kiritsubo. Next photo. She is gentle and graceful woman. She is the fourth daughter of former emperor. The Emperor Kiritsubo invited her to the court and married with her as Chugu, a consort of the emperor. For Hikaru Genji of the age of 9 years, Fujitsubo of 14 years was almost his mother and his first love. She is the ideal female image. Hikaru Genji is mama's boy. All his history of love affairs with women was the case of chasing after her image. Fujitsubo. His uncontrollable desire of love was accomplished through 2 times adultery, and she was pregnant and gave birth to the son of Emperor Kiritsubo, who will become the future Emperor Reizei. But as a matter of fact, he is the son of Hikaru Genji. She became a nun later and equivalent Empress Emeritus, passed away at the age of 37. Next photo. Next photo. Yeah. Murasaki Noue, Lady Murasaki Noue. Yeah. She is the ideal girl of Hikaru Genji. Hikaru Genji met her at a temple where he visited for prayer, and she is the principal heroine of the Tale of Genji, the most beloved woman of Hikaru Genji. She was innocent, cute, pure, and she looks just like Fujitsubo, consort to the Emperor Kiritsubo, and she was 10 years younger than Genji. Hikaru Genji always chased the image of Fujitsubo, and she is the daughter of Hyobukyo no Miya, the son of the former emperor and niece of Fujitsubo. Her mother wasn't his primary wife, but she belongs to the high-rank aristocrat. Hikaru Genji tried to convince her grandmother to become her guardian, but she refused. And after the decease of her grandmother, Genji almost settled her in his palace and raised her as his ideal lady, teaching aristocratic manner, poem, waka, calligraphy, harp, and etc. She is the most favorite and beloved woman of Hikaru Genji. Flawless beauty and perfect attitude. She is graceful, gentle, elegant, patient, generous, bright, and clever, and she likes children. She lives at the spring town of the palace of Hikaru Genji called Rokujoin, and Genji raised her to be the woman he likes, teaching culture, chastity, good-natured, patience, and calligraphy, poem, music, instruments, etc. She was the most beloved woman of Genji and treated as wife, but in fact, not legal wife. Her mother was concubine of the former emperor and her status was low. And even though Genji loved so much Lady Murasaki Noe, but later he should accept the marriage with the daughter of the Emperor Suzakuin, Onna Sanomiya. She didn't have any children, but she raised the other daughters of Hikaru Genji, such as Princess Akashi, first Prince Onna Ichinomiya, and his grandson Nionomiya. And she was attacked by the living phantom of Rokujo Miyasutokoro and once died but revived, and at the age of 43 died of illness. Genji was shocked by her death very much and grief-stricken. He became a monk seeking the Buddhist salvation. Next photo. There appeared one unique woman called Lady Suetsumu Hana. Suetsumu Hana means safflower of red color. She is the daughter of deceased imperial prince Hitachi no Miya. Her house became poor after losing her backing father, and she is a daughter of noble family, old-fashioned, shy, taciturn, stiff, single-minded, ignorant of the society, and naive woman. Hikaru Genji caught her because of the tragic heroine fantasy as incited by his friend and rival of love affairs, Tono Chujo. He had love affairs with her without seeing her face. And at the second time of love, he could see clearly her face in the morning, and he was shocked. Next photo. He was very shocked. The author Murasaki Shikibu depicts her ugliness truthfully and clearly. She is not the girl of good looking. She has the long nose, like the vehicle of a Buddhist saint, that is white elephant with long nose, and the tip of nose is red like safflower. Her starting height is very high, pale and long face, wide forehead, lower bulge, skinny. But the shape of head and hairline are good. And as her house decayed, Hikaru Genji has forgotten her, but she was waiting faithfully the visit of Hikaru Genji for a long time, who finally visited her and takes care of her life. With a compassion, finally, she lives at the palace Nijo Inn of Genji, and there, later years, live in peace. So, with his enchantment, and the talent to have love romance and his strategy in the promotion race within the imperial court. Hikaru Genji conquers the world of aristocrats, recovering the status of imperial family member and reaching the zenith of power, honor, and wealth almost equal to that of emperor. That is all for today. Thank you very much.
Watanabe-san, thank you so much for sharing the story or the tale of Genji with us. I
Yes,
think that has been very impressive, and I think we could understand that the story centers around Hikaru Genji,
yeah,
who is a gifted and elegant court noble, very
yeah,
good looking, as you were saying. And the story follows the romances, the political life, and the relationships across this highly refined aristocratic world
yeah,
of the Heian nobility. And I think that beyond the plot, we could also see that the book is famous for its subtle portrayal of human emotion,
yeah,
and also how in those times beauty was perceived, impermanence, and generally everyday life for the nobility of that time over 1,000 years ago. So
yeah.
very interesting. So
Right.
I try to think why does it still matter today? And you briefly mentioned that if you know the background of Genji Monogatari or the Tale of Genji, you will be highly respected in Japanese society. And I think it also, as I mentioned, it remains an important work because it offers two things. It offers a rich story and a detailed window into court life, including clothing, as we could see in some of the pictures that you shared, how entertainment was done. Nowadays, we have entertainment with our computers, with our TVs, maybe not so much anymore, social media, and so on, and how entertainment was um, done in the nobility because the you were saying all showing the hierarchy of the Heian class being at the top being the emperor, then coming the shogun, and at the bottom having the merchants specifically. And I think
Yeah,
the 90% of populations was in agriculture were peasants.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's right.
so those didn't have as much entertainment as the nobility had. So that was also an interesting window into how they had entertainment and the manners, how people were taught to be in that nobility, what the manners were, the moral values of those times.
Yeah, yeah.
And in short, Genji Monogatari is not only, I would say, a love story, but it
No,
is a
it is
landmark.
a
Yes. Mhm.
history of revenge of the state
Yes.
as a imperial family member, Genji, and history of the promotion in the ladder of promotion of aristocratic ranks. No, so
Yes.
it is very similar to the promotion race of nowadays in the companies.
Yes.
They struggle uh, to rise up in the status, no? And
Yes.
actually, Genji Monogatari has a very universal value of love. And finally, the Genji Monogatari ends without accomplishing the love. And so many leaders think about the uh, final ending of Genji Monogatari. And those leaders have been thinking and imagining more than 1,000 years. And naturally, the love has a universal value, and love doesn't change over the centuries, right? And nowadays, with internet and YouTube, you can see only the cut of the history and very small size of the history, right? And image, right? So this kind of long history attract, in other hand, and cultivate the imagination of the readers. Anyway, it's very important to remember the name of Genji, and if you can in the future, please open the English book of Tale of Genji. You will be very impressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Watanabe-san. I have one last question for you. How did you feel when you finished reading Genji Monogatari?
Hmm.
When you
Oh,
finished reading, because it did not have a happy end.
no. But I the sense of accomplishment, because 3 months I was reading only the
Yes.
book, and so long and sometimes tired, right? But it's so rich, each description and the depiction of the landscape, the characteristic of the protagonist, and conversation, and naturally the waka, the poem of 57577 syllables are well the, well designed and matched with the history, and it's high-end society, and it's a very good culture, and this kind of aristocratic culture has been spread for other classes during 1,000 years. So it's the fountain of the Japanese culture. It's very profound culture, Japanese culture, and I knew again this real value of Tale of Genji, and I'm very happy to read.
So everyone, there you have it. If you want to learn more about Japanese culture, if you want to dive deeper into Japanese culture, Genji Monogatari is one of those works that you should definitely dive into. Watanabe-san, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
today. Thank you for this beautiful lecture. And to everyone, please feel free to ask questions or comments in the comment section below. And see you all at the next video of Japan Business Consulting. Thank you.
Bye bye.